These disturbing videos might keep you awake all night. If you wake up in a cold sweat, I tried to warn you. Number 15. This CCTV footage was taken in the UK at Brookside Theatre in Rumford, Essex on a Sunday morning. It appears to show a chair moving completely on its own. Then, shortly after, the table is seen at the bottom left of the screen can be seen being pushed back. The theater manager said he decided to take a look at the CCTV cameras once he came in that morning and noticed the chairs were out of place. It was said that just a few hours before the video was taken, the theater was packed by people attending a show by a medium who goes by the name of Roy Roberts. So did the history of this building, mixed with the presence of a medium, somehow conjure up some restless spirit? I'll leave that one up to you. Number 14. This video was taken in Morocco and shows a thick foam-like substance covering the ground. There were several opinions about what this could have been. Some were said to believe that these were clouds that fell from the sky. Some attributed it to a wide range of conspiracy theories and the possibility that it was artificially created for some sinister purpose. Some thought it was created by a polluted river nearby, but most were left undecided. So what do you think? Have you ever seen anything like this before anywhere else in the world? If you have any explanation for this or have found a similar video taken somewhere else, please feel free to post a link in the comments. Number 13. In this clip, two men can be seen driving down a road when they notice a dead animal off to the side that they don't seem to recognize. They pull over and get out of the car.
Okay, where is it? Yeah, it's up here on the left. This road stop service right here. It's right. What is that, dude?
The creature can be seen laying with half of its body in a mud puddle. Due to the freshness of the body, they mention that it looks like it just recently died. The men holding the camera can be seen looking up at the farm close by, possibly indicating where the creature came from. They then proceed to examine the creature, touching its mouth and tongue. The creature has a long, thick tail with what seems to be legs that get smaller and smaller as they descend down the tail. There is also a stamp on the creature that reads 1812 AGM Heartland. Since I believe something like this could be very possible, I had to do a bit more research on it. And after some digging, it turns out this isn't actually real. YouTube channel That Creepypasta Guy did a great job on debunking this, and it's still an interesting story nonetheless, and it won't stop me from having nightmares about it. But if you want to check out the video, I'll leave a link in the description. Number 12. This Ring doorbell footage shows someone suspiciously walking up to a home at 2 a.m. in the morning. They at first seem to check to see if the door is open. The homeowner said that this person stayed at their porch for 15 minutes before they left, but not before slashing the homeowner's tire on their car and stealing one of their surveillance cameras. But 2 hours later, at 4 a.m., this person comes back to the home, but this time carrying a machete. The man can be seen stealing a second security camera. The most disturbing thing about this is that the homeowner was watching them the entire time in a panic. The first time the police were called and the man was gone by the time they got there. The second time the man showed up and the police were called, he was apprehended. But due to the current world issues with safety concerns, the man wasn't booked into a jail, but was only issued a citation for petty theft and vandalism, leaving him free to walk the streets again. Number 11. This next clip shows surveillance video from a restaurant. The footage first captures the kitchen, where we see early signs of this entity or presence when what looks like a possible orb can be seen floating across the camera from the very start. Then soon after someone walks through the room, a mop bucket is seen sliding across the floor. In the next clip, it shows the dining area, where nothing out of the ordinary happens. One of the staff members can be seen clearing the dishes from the table. The clip then switches back to the kitchen, where one of the staff sees the mop bucket, but doesn't notice that it's out of place and starts to pick it up and take it with her to use. In the final clip, we're back in the dining area, where one of the waitresses can be seen taking dishes off a table and placing them on her tray, when all of a sudden, some invisible force viciously yanks her hair, causing her to fall down. Then the clip ends abruptly. I wasn't able to find further reports on this incident, So was there some logical explanation for how this happened? Or was it in fact an angry, vengeful spirit? Number 10. A kid is recording a video for a school project when his dog walks through the blinds on the back of the couch, revealing the face of a creature looking into the house. It happens pretty quick, so watch closely. It actually took me a few times before I could make out the face, but when seeing a screenshot, we could see that there is something clearly staring into the window. It could be a reflection of the person recording him, but it's not the face of a normal person. It definitely has more ape-like features than human. Many people are split down the middle in their opinions, but no one has yet to come up with a good explanation for what this could have been. Number 9. The Bram Fam YouTube channel follows Bramty Juliet, her husband Luis, and their children. It's by no means a paranormal channel. In this particular video, their vlog is going normal. At 4 minutes and 5 seconds into the video, Bramty can be seen sitting in the bed with her daughter, talking to the camera about creepy things that have been going on in her house.
There's some creepy things going on right now in my house. If you follow me on Twitter, this is like the worst time to put a plug. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you already know what happened. And I'm on Penelope's iPad because the vlogging camera is downstairs. And I don't think there's no way I'm going downstairs right now.
She mentioned she's recording on her daughter's iPad because she's afraid to go downstairs to get her camera. As she's explaining what's going on, she pauses because she hears something. She calls out to her husband to see if it could have been him, but she doesn't get a response. That's when their dog starts to notice some type of presence around the house. It's believed by some that dogs can sense the supernatural. I've witnessed my own dog do this. Maybe just the way we can't hear all the frequencies they can hear, there may be something they see that lay just outside of our vision. Number 8. This person is working in a security booth. They pick up a chair, walk the chair across the room, and sit it down. Then they go take a seat on top of the table. While watching the TV security cameras, the chair starts to move on its own in the person's general direction. The people watching the video notice it and begin to panic, but the man in the security booth doesn't seem to notice at all. A few moments later, the chair moves again. This time, the man notices and looks back at the camera, probably to make sure it recorded the event. The man hops off the table and rubs his eyes just to make sure he isn't seeing things. Seemingly alarmed and confused all at the same time, he goes to take a closer look at the chair, picking it up and placing it on top of the stack of chairs. The man, now visibly shaken up at this point, grabs the whiteboard and places it in front of the chairs, hoping to block it from moving again. Then, he packs his things and gets out of the room as fast as he can. Number 7. This terrifying video was taken in China from someone's apartment window. It shows a gigantic explosion resulting in a mushroom cloud that rained debris on residents nearby. This was caused by over 11 tons of highly flammable chemicals that were being stored in a factory that dried out and eventually started to self-ignite, unfortunately ending in many fatalities and injuries. In the aftermath, the explosion was so big that it leveled buildings near it and even left a giant crater in the ground. This was definitely reminiscent of the Chernobyl disaster. Luckily, the city didn't have to be abandoned, and though not an easy feat, efforts have been made to rebuild it. Number 6. A creature is filmed swimming past a small boat. The person in the boat notices the creature and leans in to take a closer look. The people on the boat that are recording can be seen staring at the unknown beast also, trying to figure out what it is. There have been speculations that this could be a leatherback turtle, because they tend to grow to large sizes, but I don't think that's the case here. As the video continues, it becomes more clear that the part of the sea creature that is above the surface is just a small part of it. The rest of it can be seen trailing behind underwater, and it looks way too big to be any kind of turtle. This did take place in Ireland, where there has been a rich history of myth and folklore surrounding sea monsters. Maybe these stories hold more truth than previously believed. Number 5. The Philip experiment was a study conducted by Dr. George Owen and overseen by psychologist Dr. Joel Witten. The test group was made up of people from various backgrounds, including Dr. Owen's wife, to determine if people would be able to communicate with fictionalized ghosts strictly through sheer expectation of human will. Attempts to communicate with the entity would be done through a seance. The character that was created and agreed upon was to be named Philip Aylesford. They even created an entire backstory for him that partially coincided with real events from the past, but purposefully having many plot holes and contradictions in his story. The initial seance yielded no results at all. Dr. Owen then changed the conditions of the environment so that it would feel more like a traditional seance. Once this was done, the test subject started to feel a presence, wind breezes, table vibrations, echoes, and rapping sounds that matched the responses to questions Philip was asked about his life. At one point, the table tilted on a single leg and even moved across the room. Although the entire count was documented with audio and video, Philip never physically appeared to any of the participants. Number 4. A van is driving down a busy street in China. As it approaches the intersection, some force begins to toss it around erratically, eventually ending up being flipped on its side, simultaneously seeming to trigger the van near it and a car in the opposing lane to make the same erratic movements. Some have speculated that they became entangled in a cable of a passing street sweeper, but this wouldn't make sense because other cars and trucks had driven through the exact same area within seconds from each other and nothing happened. Also, none of the vehicles or people near the levitating vehicles are affected, and the ones that are affected aren't even parallel to each other. So it's really hard to make sense of this one. Number 3. On April 4th, 2015, a loud metallic-like groaning sound that has been compared to a giant trumpet was heard coming from the sky in Germany. The person recording can be seen opening up the window of their house to hear the noise more clear.
Was ist das? Ich habe keine Ahnung, der Junge da unten guckt auch.
To add more suspense, a child can be seen frozen in the streets, turned toward the sound, and never moves from their position the entire video. This isn't the first time this has happened. Reports ranging from Australia to Texas have surfaced along with video proof. StrangeSounds.org even compiled a list of over 150 of these same type of occurrences from around the world. The link will be in the description if you want to check it out. Explanations have been given ranging from tectonic plates grinding to atmospheric pressure, but to this day, there's still no definitive proof behind the cause of this strange anomaly. Number 2. This is surveillance footage taken at Malcolm W. Memorial Park in St. Louis and posted on their Facebook page. A strange light can be seen hovering over the St. Louis Arch. It hovers for a short while high above the arch, then it slowly starts to descend toward the top of the arch. Around 1 minute and 19 seconds into the video, the light goes dark. After about 15 seconds later, it lights up again, and you can see that it never moved its position above the arch. Soon after, a light can be seen in the top left corner of the video, and it seems to be rising and falling in a very peculiar way, eventually falling to the ground. This stirred up a lot of questions among many in town as well as across the internet. Less than 2 weeks later, the Malcolm W. Martin Memorial Park Facebook page posted a follow-up video from a different angle, showing various flashing lights ascending and eventually descending down to where a car is. The car can then be seen driving away, while the car behind it parks to the side of the road. The light is shown again. Then it can clearly be seen landing on the side of the road. It repeats the movement of flying off and landing. The follow-up footage has led many to believe that this was someone flying some type of drone, which makes sense, but there still hasn't been an official confirmation. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on our daily videos. Now, let's get back into it. Number 1. Cecilia Carrasco was walking past the reception area at her lawyer's office when all of a sudden she felt hands push her to the floor. The footage quickly went viral, even reaching the local news station. This was no light push, as Miss Carrasco had to be taken away in an ambulance and missed several days of work due to her injuries. She said she never believed in ghosts before, but feels like there is one after her now. Doctors, however, are on the fence that anything supernatural happened. They said she received a blow to the head during the fall that could have created confusion about what really happened. While it's true that a blow to the head can cause delusion, the video footage doesn't lie, and Miss Carrasco's explanation is the one that makes the most sense so far. What do you think? These creepy, bone-chilling videos defy all logic and just might make you question everything.